The Renaissance, 1300s to 1600s. Nicholas Copernicus has been accused of putting the sun in the center of the universe and not the earth. The church says this is completely wrong and will rebuke it. This is the Copernicus model. Yellow is the sun, blue is the earth, and red is Mars. On the left is the way that Copernicus thinks it is, and on the right is the way the church thinks it is. Although Copernicus was ultimately correct, he did not account for the planets having an oval orbit around the sun. He thought they were circular. Michelangelo, the sculptor of David and the painter of the Sistine Chapel, was born in Capri, a village in Tuscany, Italy. When he died, he was 88 years old. He was born in 1475 and died in 1564. This is David. David is a biblical hero that Michelangelo sculpted out of marble. David was originally going to be on the roof of the cathedral, but they found out he weighed 6 tons and would have crushed the roof. He was moved into a museum nearby on the ground. The Sistine Chapel was painted by Michelangelo while standing on scaffolds bolted to the wall and painting craning his neck upwards rather than lying on his back. William Shakespeare was a playwright and a poet. He wrote a lot of plays, and he was the head of his own theater called the Globe. Marco Polo is a traveler that traveled to Asia. These are his travel routes. The dots are where he stopped at. This is a rendition of the book he wrote while he was traveling. When he got back, he found Venice at war with Genoa. Genoa captured him and kept him for ransom. Gutenberg is the publisher of the Gutenberg Bible, a compilation of all of the Testament. This is a general idea of what the printing press he used would have looked like. Little rectangles of metal were used to stamp out the various characters that the Bible used. The characters were arranged in a box, and then the pieces were arranged into a block of text. The block was then inked and pressed. The book was fancied up elsewhere from the printing shop. Once this was done, then you had a page which could be bound with a bunch of other pages to make a full book. Giotto was an Italian painter and architect from Florence. When he was younger, he used to draw his sheep on rocks. They were very lifelike. Giotto's biggest project was the decoration of the Sciarroni Chapel. Francisco Petrarch was an Italian scholar and poet. He is considered the father of humanism and created the model for 16th century Italian. Leon Battista Alberti was born an illegitimate son, meaning that the church rejected him because he was born due to an affair. He was also a humanist. He was considered a universal Renaissance man. Niccolò Machiavelli was an Italian historian, politician, diplomat, philosopher, and humanist. He was also the founder of many political ethics we use right now. Raphael was a painter and an architect. His work is admired for its ease and clarity of composition. Together with Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, they formed the trio of amazing artists in the Renaissance time period. Leonardo da Vinci was a painter and a sculptor. He lived to be 67 years old and died in 1519. He was also a scientist and invented many of the things we use today. Those things were not feasible during his time, things like helicopters, which he did invent.